What's up, guys? Today on Uncut, I am joined by Lukas Thimm, and to be honest, we barely even know each other.
I know,
which I love.
But I like you so much. So when you asked me to be on, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna get to know him even more now. I love it.
Like I was like, I always see you as like a drunk party friend that like you're like, hey, and I'm like, girl. I was like, I love when I get to see you, but I know not one thing about you at all, other than you just love to go out, as do I.
do, yes.
And we run in similar circles.
We do. I'm always dancing.
You're always loud. And I was like, I have a perception of you from the internet because obviously you post a lot of similar things as well. And I also love that you just throw shit at the wall and like, you know, I never know what the fuck you are going to do or say. And then sometimes I see you with like, I'm like, how does she know this fucking like most political person ever? I'm like, you just have so many different things. I'm like, what does this girl do?
He was ranting about healthcare and now he's in a dark room.
I'm like,
what's going on?
I don't know what she does. I don't know anything, but I was like, this episode is called Do All Gays Think Alike? And I said, if there's anyone who's going to have an opinion, it's this drunk guy, Lukas, I know from Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Who
Chelsea, wait a minute.
Okay, well, I see you running around, so I don't know where the fuck you even live.
Yeah.
What do you do? I don't even know.
Well, the fun stuff I do, I host a live talk show called So Many Issues with Lukas. It's like a live late night show. It's Jon Stewart meets Andy Cohen. That's kind of the vibe.
Love.
Prior to that, I actually worked for Jon Stewart on his Apple TV show.
Okay.
So I was an assistant. I was a talent coordinator. So that's kind of what I do, my day job. But yes, you know, I'm just trying to live the dream, hustle. I mean, you know.
This is the dream,
This is the dream. You throw things at the wall.
Yes.
Whatever the video is of me doing stand-up or what you do, man on the street comedy or ranting about affordable childcare. You never know. Or just my tits. You don't know what I'm posting.
And all is available on your social media platforms.
Yes.
Okay, so these are things that people have given to me.
Okay.
And these are thoughts that people have about gay men, I'm going to say. So I'm just going to go through one by one. We can talk about them. If we both agree, we'll discuss. So the first one, somebody submitted, which we're just going to start off with a bang. Why am I forced to feel that monogamy is dying and unachievable? True or false, in your opinion, for gay people?
The word forced is so strong. I mean, I feel like my views on monogamy have shifted a lot over recent years.
Are you post 30 or under 30?
I'm 31.
Okay.
So I'm post 30. When I first
I'm 32, so like we're in the same boat.
Right. So I felt like early on, monogamy was unnegotiable, and it's what I wanted. And I think as I've become friends with more gay men who are in relationships, and let me tell you, gay couples are out of control. They are. But I just don't think monogamy is realistic for a relationship, especially a gay relationship, which is supposed to be the magic of being gay is that we work to break out of like this patriarchal, like puritanical norm. So you explore your sexuality. And I do think there's room to love someone so much and then be able to have whatever that open relationship looks like. I do think communication's key. I've seen it be so awful in certain couples. Be like, girl, this is not.
I've seen horrible, yeah,
horrible. Like they're roommates. They barely know each other. But then sometimes it works. I've not been. I'm just getting out of a serious like. We dated for a long time. We never were like official boyfriends.
Okay.
So it kind of was like an open relationship like for a long time. I would expect if I got in a serious relationship, I'd be monogamous for a little bit to establish that like trust. But girl, you can't tell me not have threesomes the rest of my life.
Yeah. Are you a threesome guy?
Oh,
like big threesome guy?
I'm the most popular third on the West Side.
No way.
It's one of my best jokes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know how to repair. Look, I've been brought to repair relationships to just to be a birthday gift. You know, I'm a fun time for a couple.
So you are like the meat in between the sandwich.
Oh my God. I'm a great middler.
Okay.
I'm a great middler through.
Don't expect much from her, but you're in the middle. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I love that. I would say like monogamy is definitely dying though. Like I feel like just in general, the amount of times I've had conversations with people that maybe it's because we are naturally getting older.
Yeah.
So now people are getting more open-minded to things, maybe giving less of a fuck. Maybe it's like since it's 2025, we're all just like fuck it at the wall. I don't know. But I think, you know, when you were younger, we were all like, oh my God, someone's going to be the one.
Right.
And I remember like literally swiping through Tinder or some bullshit, being like, wow, I might meet the guy who like, this is the last dick I'm ever going to see in my whole entire life. And I literally would think like this. I'm like swiping. I'm like, That's it.
That's it.
This is the one. And then you just think these crazy things. And now as you get older and, like you travel, you meet different people out or whatever. And you're like, I could never only see like one dick for the rest of my life. Or even like my sister, she's straight, and like she'll like kiss my gay friends or something. And her husband's like, oh yeah, whatever. Or like he'll kiss and it's free flowing, like even now straight people, a kiss isn't
that's
cheating or something, it's like, you have to just let it go, like this isn't, it's all about intention, right? If you and I were dating and we had an agreement, but then I let's say our rule was don't bring someone to our home, but then I crossed that line and brought someone to our home, that's fucked up because now I'm intentionally going against you. But when you're like in the moment and you're just having fun and I see a smile on your face and there's no emotional, I don't know, like connection that I feel intimidated by, then like, why are we making this a whole thing? It doesn't need to be a whole thing.
Your key word's intention. I think intentions have the way we should live our life in a variety of facets of what we do, what we make, how we be, how we love. And I felt what you just said, when I've seen with friends who have open relationships, it's when they break the rules or lack the communication that was established when they set those rules. I think that is when it's a recipe for disaster. I mean, I live my life by the rules of improv, yes, and. So you rarely, and that's got me in trouble. You're rarely going to see me say no to something. So that's why he said when he sees me drunk and shirtless, whatever, I'm always yes-anding people.
You're just a down-ass bitch.
I'm pretty down. And when I say no, that means something's probably wrong.
Something's brewing. Or you have plans for after already. You've already committed.
Exactly. I'm very loyal and reliable. So
yeah, she showed up on time.
That's true. I did.
Okay, so basically our gist is I don't think you should feel forced to be monogamous if you don't want to be monogamous. Right. But I do think to expect somebody to not go against the grain in that regards is, in my opinion, almost a little unrealistic. Maybe our perception as two people who live in the city as gay men, maybe it's a little skewed at this point. But I think expecting someone to be a one dick forever and this is it sounds challenging, especially when I feel like there's conversations like this that make it seem so welcoming and open.
Totally.
I don't know how many people could actually be monogamous.
Look,
truthfully,
I don't know either. And obviously, there's no judgment. And if you want that and you find that person, congratulations. And also, I've seen like men. I know some older gay men who've got together later in life, and they do have monogamy. But that's because they lived their 20s and their 30s, maybe their early 40s, and kind of lived this life. And that's what they found each other, and they're in the same. What's the right word? Same just as time
place
in their
in
life.
Yeah.
Place. So it's not impossible, but I just think it's what you said.
It's not realistic
right now
as a 20, 30-year-old.
Yes.
To put that pressure on someone else, or at least maybe don't lead with that. Maybe just keep it open-ended, and then as like the relationship progresses, because I do think when you have harsh terms like that, it could scare people away from the jump.
Absolutely.
Like let someone get to know you, and then the terms of your relationship can come over time. It doesn't need to happen right away in like the first fucking
because it could go in
couple
phases.
Days.
I've seen friends. When one was so against monogamy and they started dating, they became monogamous, and then they opened up for a variety of reasons. And then, I think when you find your person, and again, communication, intention, all that, it's not forever. Nothing is forever. Things can change and shift. And as long as you guys are on the same page growing together, I think that's most important.
We agree. So 1 point for Jeff and Lucas, because fuck,
Exactly.
we both agreed on that.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be controversial, and I want to keep this as light as possible.
Good note.
Okay. Most gay people are forced to be liberal.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with this person's thought. Will you?
Yes, but I think it's your moral obligation to be. I think I think to keep it light, and I definitely will. I would just say I would love to live in the world we have the privilege to kind of debate over fiscal policy, and if you believe that taxes should be cut for the wealthy and this and that, and what Republican views the small government, fantastic. I would love to live in that world. Unfortunately, the Republican Party, under the leadership of Donald Trump, has, as we've seen the couple weeks of his administration, gone a full-on attack against LGBTQ people. They're ripping up guidebooks to help gay kids. They're banning trans people from the military. They're going after our health care. I don't think we have the luxury to not be liberal when one political party, and they could stop doing this. They don't have to do this. They don't.
It's facts.
Attacking LGBTQ rights. I wish they just would move beyond it. It's so stupid to me how we're still here. And I envy the day when gay people can really be much more open about, I don't agree with Democrats on healthcare, how much money they spend on the environment, but unfortunately, I just don't think we're there. And as gay people, I think we have to defend the entire community, because if they split all the letters up, LGBTQ, I mean, we're screwed.
We're barely enough it together.
Barely enough. And also, one final note, trans people were there for us during the AIDS epidemic. I mean, come on, we should be there for them now.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think the biggest thing is I first off, I hate the two-party system.
Yeah, 100%.
I think nobody fits in a bubble. Like at this point, it's 2025. You can't even put like straight and gay in a box or bubble.
Yeah.
So I think like the people who say I'm liberal is probably 10%. The people who say I'm Republican is also probably 10%. Mm-hmm. But when you're forced to pick and choose, obviously most people are just going to say, hey, I'm liberal.
Right.
If you get down into all, fucking 50 bullet points, there's some things I might feel more conservatively about. There's some things I might feel more liberally about. But as someone who is gay, I'm obviously always going to side with the fact of like, hey, like, I would like to have like equal rights, just kind of the basis.
Kind of, well, like for me, I mean, I think everybody values different things. Yes. So some people, like you said, maybe value more like taxes or whatever the fuck it is, like more conservative because of money. And good for you. Maybe that's what you care about. Maybe you don't give a fuck if you want to get married or whatever. Other people are, I am trans. I have a kid who might be gay and I want to be supportive of them, or whatever the case may be. You're obviously going to have a at-home reason as to why you feel a certain way towards one party or the other. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to get to a point that I wish as people, we could just vote as people.
And not be put in a box. Yeah. Because you might have viewpoints that are not 100% liberal. Mm-hmm. You might have viewpoints that are not 100% conservative. But that's what a human is. Nobody is one whole thing.
100%.
And I wish we could vote based upon that as opposed to this two-party system. And lastly, the other thing I'm actually going to say is, oh my God, what the fuck was I about to say? Oh man, it was so good.
I hate when that happens. I'll come back.
We're going to come back. But basically I just feel like I wish we could vote for people and not be put in a box. Absolutely. Because nothing is in a box at this point anymore. And so that's kind of where I stand.
I love that idea. Like I've always felt that growing up. I hated being boxed in. I hated being confined. And I think, and with my sexuality, with my comedy, with my political beliefs, it's like I've always had moments I boxed myself in. I had to be this way. I had to think a certain way.
Yeah.
And especially I think what we saw with this election, what I really hoped what was happening with the Harris campaign was this very kind of like multi-ideological campaign kind of coming together to defeat MAGA. And I thought like, wow, this could be kind of cool. Like maybe this is going to be a mix of like progressives and conservatives and whatever. We're coming together to kind of make this new coalition. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But like you, I really do think this is just a moment in time that we will survive, and we will get to a point where hopefully we get rid of the electoral college, we get multi-party. But like you can really be like, I'm voting for this Republican because honestly, he's actually pretty liberal on LGBTQ rights, but I really side with him on the conservatives' taxes or whatever. So I'm with you. I think being boxed in, confined by rules or ideological, dogmatic views, or whatever people think you should say or should act is not right. Unfortunately, right now, we have to stand up for basic rights.
Basic rights. That's all we're asking, which is basic rights.
Yeah.
Wait, I remember what I was going to say. So basically, I feel like my biggest holdup with some conservative people is I find that, like in Biden's administration, he was not great, and I can sit there and I could look at that and say, he did some good things, but overall, like it wasn't the best presidency we've seen in years. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. I feel like conservative people, Trump gets around and say like, the sky's green. And they're like, the sky is green. What do you mean? He said it's green. Yep. It's like, you're allowed to like, vote how you want to vote, think how you want to think, but like, you don't have to agree with every single thing that comes out of this man's mouth.
Wild.
And that's what I don't understand is like, why can't you just sit here and say like, I voted for him. I like his policies. I like this. But you know what? When it comes to this policy, I don't agree with it.
Right.
Like, I would actually have more respect for you in that regards. But I swear this man says anything and everyone just jumps to be like, oh, well, of course, because that's what he thinks.
Why are they calling him daddy? Why? Okay, that's only appropriate at certain moments, as we know. Why is everyone calling him daddy? He is not your daddy. He is a politician. He's the president. It is so
He's
weird.
not even grandpa.
He's not even grandpa.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's grandpa addicted Diet Coke. I don't know what he's doing. But it's just, it's kind of weird that this cult of personality, which is like, and they would always say like, well, like you don't defend Biden or whatever. Like, yeah, he's not our like savior.
Yeah.
We don't. I agree with him on certain things, and I can also think like he doesn't know how to walk on grass. He shuffles. He's so old. Like, it's just
like I also said he should have stepped down immediately after I saw that. I think I was like one of the first people who like actually just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna say this." And I had friends messaging me being like, "Did you just say that?" I was like, they were like, "Jeff, that's not like a safe space. You probably shouldn't have posted that." And I was like, but you should be able to just fucking.
It's a big lesson I learned.
Yeah, like
speak truth, and when you see something, like say it. And don't be. I think 100% like to resist the culture of like uniformity is, and the Republican Party right now is all about Trump, and it's really weird. Just to lack
odd.
It's odd.
You're allowed to disagree, people.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Oh God. Okay, we've never done this before. I'm also scared. Okay, so basically we're starting a new thing about the dare basket.
Oh God.
There's a couple dares in this hat. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You go first.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Let me see the last nude you sent to someone, and I will rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So does that mean I need to show you mine, or do you have to show me yours since I just asked you?
I guess then if that kind of
it says, let me see the last nude you sent to someone, and let me rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So am I asking you?
You're the host. I mean,
okay. How about we're gonna be nice? How about you go in your phone? I'm gonna go on my phone.
Okay.
You pull up the last nude you sent. I'll pull up the last nude I sent. We'll exchange phones, and then you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll do the same.
Okay, fine.
I think that's a fair.
Can I get my phone?
I think that's a fair gist.
This is fun. Who came up with these?
Not me.
Oh my God. Oh, what did I
was like, fuck me right now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see. Hidden folder.
You actually have your nudes organized in a folder?
Oh well, they're my hiddens and on.
Okay, let's start with this. Are you going full on nude, or are we going like what are we going for here? I guess nude means.
I mean, I could do full. Oh God, this.
Okay, let's have an agreeing. Are we going from the front or the back?
We can do back.
Okay, so we're just showing each other an ass photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
I was like,
I need a recent one. Okay, damn.
Oh man, I'm in videos now. Wait,
I know.
that was
I
my
can't
problem.
show you a video. I was worried to show you a video.
I was like, wait, that's my problem. I was like going through videos because I had this one thing. I was actually no, that's what I'm gonna show you. I'm going from the front.
Oh really?
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm screaming.
Yeah, I'll do front too. Oh my God.
All right, put your phone down and slide it. Okay. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I have a lovely photo.
I have a lovely video. It's subtle. Mine's not subtle.
Yours is not subtle. I think your angle is really great. I would give this photo. I like that you also didn't show face, even though like I know it's yours, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But I think if I receive this, my critique would be like I would want to see face.
Right.
So
okay.
I would give this photo itself like a 7 out of 10.
Great. I'll take it. I think that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
This video is, I think, really well shot. It's in a really beautiful, well-lit mirror. I mean, it's under the pants action. So I guess I would love to see it. So
that's fair.
I'm also going to give it, I'd give it an 8 because I can imagine, I like imagining things too. So
okay.
I don't see your face. I don't necessarily need it right now. This is the first one I was getting. So I'm giving this an 8. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So, well, solid points for the boys.
We really got to know each other.
Okay. Well, that was a great game. Now I feel like I really, really saw a lot. That leads me to actually what my next question was, though. Yeah. So that was weird timing, whoever's fucking actually planning this right now. All gay men overcompensate or lie about their size. I think that is true.
Well, I think that's a lot of truth with men in general.
A lot of what?
Men in general
yeah.
overcompensate. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think a lot of us are size queens. I mean, it's unfortunate, though. I think, like, nothing But then, well, first of all, being lied to is not great. I'd rather have a guy just be honest and then be really confident.
Yes.
Because versus like lying and then insecure. Insecurity is the most unattractive thing.
I could not agree more.
And I'm not trying to sound like an ass or a place of privilege, but like it's something when you come out of the closet, you have to work on confidence because confidence is sexy. And whether you are 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, however big it is, if you come to me with confidence and come up to me, that is so much sexier than
anything you're packing.
Anything you're packing.
Yes.
But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm trying to think of anyone they don't lie about.
I feel like everyone just exaggerates a little, being like,
a little bit,
or like just the way they like word things. They'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm hung," and I'm like, "Okay, well, what is hung to you?" Because I feel like
we need to set parameters. Right now.
I was
what
like,
does hung mean? Yeah.
How many inches we talking? Because like there's variations of all these things.
Yes.
I feel like a really good D is just like 6 and above, and I want it to visually look good.
Oh, being told your dick is pretty is a wonderful
The most
compliment.
important part
100%.
of the whole entire thing.
Because you're right. Because then there's length, there's thickness, there's whatever. So everything varies as a determination of what hung means.
Facts.
So,
and obviously, when someone's like, maybe more notorious bottom, they prefer girth because that's what they are going to feel more of at this point.
Right.
Some people prefer length.
Yes.
And everyone pick your poison,
Everyone
right?
pick your poison. I'm lucky enough that I've enjoyed all different shapes and sizes, and it's fun.
Yes.
I love a surprise.
I think we should stop lying about our sizes. I think
yes.
I've been asked this before, so I'm just going to explain this really quickly. When someone asks you to measure, you start at the base of your fucking pubes and then you go to your tip. Like I've seen some people say like, oh, like I start at my bush, or they start at like, if you basically go from like your balls or something, it gives you like, it's like, no, like you start at the base of your pubes at the top and you go up, and that's how many inches you are, and own it.
I've learned that when I was like 13 years old looking up on Google. I was like, didn't no one else do
You're
that?
like, how do you measure?
Literally, what is the proper way of measuring your
And that's when your parents knew you were gay and they saw you Googling that.
Yes.
Okay, why have we built a culture that I feel forced to send my nudes to someone when they ask me, or else they'll block me? I would say that's factual. I do feel like, because I'm actually someone who does not send them, but I don't send mine, and I don't think I'm like, the most famous person in the world or like whatever, but I just had bad experiences that things end up on websites or lpsg.com or like whatever those things are. And people talk about my stuff and they'll say like, I was messaging him, he was such an entitled bitch, he wouldn't give me his private album. Right. Or people will say whatever it is that I said. And so I just feel like some people, you never know their intention and they hound you for these things. And I'm like, where's this going? Like, are you asking me for them because you want to hook up with me? Or are you asking them because you're just curious and you're trying to like, not blackmail me, but you know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to get out of this?
100%. Yeah.
And so that's why I choose to not send. And if, let's say I was going to hook up with you and you were like, oh, I'm not meeting up with you unless you send your nudes, I'm okay to be like, I'm not doing this, because that just shows you're literally either fishing for it or you're just nothing of substance anyways. And you're just like,
totally.
And I'm into neither.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think so. I have sent them, but they're never. I usually do it back to me. God, narratives of me being drunk. I usually get really drunk, and then if I come home and not with anyone else, and someone messages me, you get lucky. You never know. Just
find Lucas after dark.
Exactly. DM me at like 2 or 3. You never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, no. I think I don't do a lot of random hookups anymore. I don't really go on Grindr a lot, and part of that was that reason of the hounding for nudes, and it just kind of gets unsexy to me when someone's so persistent about it. I understand if you're doing random hookups, you kind of want to see what they're working with. I totally get that. But yeah, I think it comes to a choice of like, you just are not going to do that. I have a lot of friends who don't do it. And that's also kind of what, Instagram is for. You say, hey, this is my Instagram. This is what I look like. Yeah. You can imagine like it's,
literally. Or like you said, like how I sent you or showed you that video. Yes. You can see what it is.
Totally.
You know what I mean? But like, I'm not sending you the actual thing. Yeah. And I think that's like the perfect tasteful way of being like,
Yeah.
No shade to the micro penis bros, but like I don't have one.
Yeah.
And like,
because that's the question people really ask.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
you know what I mean? It's like, it's great. I
Yeah.
know some people have a preference to being like, are you cut or uncut? Like, happy to answer the question, whatever
Yes.
that is. But I think to expect that somebody has to send you something is kind of fucked up. Like, how we all have these like photo shoots or private albums and all these things on our phone. And I think it's good that you should have that. It's nice to feel hot and you feel good about yourself when you have these photos. And one day we're going to be old and want to have these photos.
I want to look back at those
Fuck
videos
yeah.
I took. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and like, why not? We should.
Yeah.
But I do think to expect that someone owes you that or you're not getting this D, I think is so fucking weird and fucked up. And
So weird.
don't cave into those people. And so I do think we should change the culture of expecting someone to give you their nudes.
Let's go back to what did they do 30 years ago when they didn't have this? Like you met up and you had fun. I just don't think. I think absolutely we need to kill this expectations. You have to send nudes to people.
Yeah.
In order to get a hookup or you're bad gay or you're a bad guy. So,
Yeah, you don't owe anyone your nudes.
Nope.
Okay, why is every gay man obsessed with straight men? I could see why I would come across as being at fault at this based on my videos. So I will take this one. I don't know. I think a lot of gay men like men, and I think they like that masculine man. So I think that's why people are attracted to straight men because they like that gritness or that broiness that a man could bring. And I do think sometimes maybe in the gay community, there is a spectrum of that.
Yes.
But you're never getting that full thing.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that's why gay people are attracted to straight men. And I do think gay people are attracted to straight men.
100%. I mean, growing up, when I was like figuring it out and repressed me, like the porn I watched was gay for pay. And I would convince myself, I'd be like, oh, see, they're straight and they're doing gay stuff. So like that's supposed to be okay. Like I'm not really
like
gay.
this is the pipeline.
This is my yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. It's the masculinity, it's the grit, it's the also that I guess that speaking in my behalf, that connection. I had a lot of friends growing up, guy friends, but that connection I never really had with them. Like they always were kind of a bro clique. I never was a bro, obviously in my Madonna shirt. Like I never was a bro.
Like a virgin. That's who she is.
Exactly. So I think it's that like that yearning of something that I didn't have, that like connection. But I've also I have friends who are masculine, handsome gay men who are really into femme twings, and it's so cool to hear them
Interesting.
be like, oh, I'm into a guy with nails or whatever, and the way it's make. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's
There's really something for everybody.
there really is something for
So,
everyone.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think also like I used to be. I mean, I was straight for my early 20s. Like, you know, I mean, obviously sex felt good, but also that desire to be one of those straight guys too, I think kept me in it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I kind of can see why it's still attractive to many gay men to kind of wanna have that straight guy.
What I was just thinking of is, do you think that because I would argue this, most people's first love, if you will, was probably a straight man. Whether you had a crush on a guy or whether somebody was unattainable or was your best friend or it was whatever. Most gay people, your gay awakening is most likely somebody super close to you and was your best friend who you never actually got. Or maybe you did got, but then they told you they didn't like you and then it never actually worked out. And we're all possibly still close with these people. I'm not giving anything away, but I'm just speaking to our own experiences.
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Do you think maybe that has anything to do with like you're basically like your first hookup or your first love was straight, and so maybe now since you have this tie of it was never fully fulfilled, maybe that's why we all keep going for it?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, speaking experience, I could definitely look back at middle school and high school and friends I had that I totally had crushes on, and I did not realize they were crushes, but they were absolutely crushes.
Absolutely crushes.
And they were the most masculine, coolest, most popular guys, and of course, I think many of us can identify with that. So it is back to that yearning of what we didn't have, and what, you know. And I hate the whole mass toxic masculine culture within our community, but I also get why.
I totally get it. Yeah.
I totally get it. So that makes sense to me. I like everything. It's childhood trauma. It all comes back to that. All our sexual interests come back to that.
Literal facts.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's interesting. Gay men are so quick to stan any woman, but bash one another. I think that's true. And I think it stems from, I don't want to use the term competition, but I think that's kind of what it comes down to in some way, shape, or form. And I think men are just super competitive. And so like really, really bad example. But like somebody could say like you and I do the same thing.
Yep.
And instead of you being like, you know, you could take this one of two ways. You could say, I want to work with this kid because we share similar audiences and we can grow together. Or fuck this kid.
Yep.
I'm going to either like steal his content or steal what he's doing. Or like, I'm not going to respond to him. And then we both do the same thing, but separately, but have a similar audience. Yeah. So I think we as gay people need to view each other as like, let's all lift each other up because we can work well together and
100%.
help each other, as opposed to viewing each other as competition.
There's enough room for good, talented, hardworking people to thrive.
Yes.
And, you know, Jay Jordan, who's this incredible stand-up comedian, if you don't know who he is, has this great joke that the worst audience for gay comedians are gay men because they're sitting there going, I can do that.
Yeah.
And
or there's spiteful bitches being like, I messaged him on Grindr and he didn't respond to me.
Right. So it's I think I always, back to the confidence thing, have confidence in myself enough to know maybe I'm not taking off right now, but doesn't mean I'm going to despair if someone else is doing something very similar to me, because I feel like we can grow together, we can help each other. I think, kind of lost my thought here. 1 second.
Classic us.
I know, classic us is getting.
And we're sober.
To get, not to be mean, but I think there are a lot of gay men who are really funny or talented, but lack that extra little confidence or thing, that X factor that makes them do what we do. We put ourselves out there. We handle people hating on us, probably making fun of us, whatever, but we still do because we love what we're doing and we're talented and we're having fun.
Yeah.
There are gay men who resent that because they don't have that in them.
Yes.
So that is something that we need to work on as a community and people, and like you need to do the work to be able to watch someone thrive and either want to try to do what they do and take that leap or be happy for them and not do it. And that's something that I've run into, that people want to put me down because I'm dancing on tables, because I'm doing stand-up, because I'm making videos, because I'm living so out loud, because I want to and I'm having a good time, and they're unable to for whatever insecurity they have.
Not everyone can fit on the table.
That's true. But my friend Terrence, we always say everyone can fit on the dance floor under the spotlight. We will bring you. We will always bring you there. But yes, the table. Let me have the 5 minutes up there, and then you can join.
So I think as gay men, I do think we stan women. Everyone has like a gay woman who's like their crutch, who they will fucking back to the end of the fucking days. But I do think, you know, one example that comes to my mind is how quickly everybody was to bash that gay show that was on MTV years ago, and they put like those 5 gay people. It was like Todrick Hall.
Oh yeah,
Joey
Real Friends of WeHo.
Yes, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a shitty show. I think I watched the first episode, whatever it is. But I think people said it was a shitty show and like talk shit about it, not because they watched it through and they weren't real friends or whatever, but they were bashing it because every gay person thinks they deserve their own reality TV show amongst their friends and blah, blah, blah.
That is so real. We all think
they just were spiteful, being like, why'd they get picked?
Right.
Why is this not my friend group? Oh, they're ugly. They're old. Whatever the case was. That's the reason why.
And you know what that did? And now there won't be another gay docu-reality show. Because I know that for a fact. I know that's
no one's ever going to look at that and be like, let's try this.
I've been a part of a project, and it's now been halted because of the reaction of that show. Like that the way we collectively we just destroyed that show, and also it wasn't that great, but destroyed before it even really aired.
Yes.
Is just
they had no chance from the start.
No chance. And if they don't have their core audience of what they're trying to. Like, it's definitely Real Housewives didn't have women behind it. It just wouldn't exist, right? So it's like, it was never going to thrive. And then now, look at now, we're not going to have a reality show of all.
And why do the Housewives thrive? Because of the gays.
Because the gays. Well, yeah, exactly.
So, and we are 2 of them.
What I love. Oh, God.
Okay, this is the last one I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to let you pick this time.
Okay.
Remember, I was nice and we both did this.
Yeah.
So don't.
I'm closing my eyes and letting you kiss me wherever you want.
Are you? Oh, God. Are we really doing this? Okay. Oh, my God. How do I even get out of this fucking chair?
I'm waiting.
That was so cute.
That was so tender.
I was like, I hope this actually makes the cut.
That's sweet. Great lips.
That was nice and soft. I put on chapstick.
Yeah.
Not that I knew that was coming, but okay. I have one more that I wanted to talk about before we have to wrap this up, unfortunately. Okay, this is kind of deep. I feel like being gay is like being communist. We are all forced to think, dress, and act the same. We all even have the stupid twang to our voice. I hate it. Do you want to unbox this one first? You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but you can resist that.
I also feel like the way this is worded feels like you have some level of self-hate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe let's start by being like, these are natural things. That is just reality. The twang to your voice is not a bad thing. So like, don't hate on yourself for it. But is there truth of being like, I think there's like funny things of like everyone has that striped Zara shirt, or gay people all go to like, the Fire Island, Hamptons, P-Town. Like there is a pipeline of whatever. Do I think you're forced? No. I think if you want to be around gay people and that's where your community is going and it's a safe place for you to go and hang out, I think why would you not want to do that? Because it brings me joy. Mm-hmm. But communist, like
that's a strong word. No one's taking away anything from you trying to even. Yeah, look, I think we live in society in general. Internet culture has put some sort of conformity to all of us, and what Jeff just said too with Fire Island and P-Town, we have these gay spots that kind of we all want to go to, but that's about having community and having fun. And yes, some of us all watch Drag Race or like Beyonce or Madonna or whatever it is, but you got to find your ways that make you different. I don't think I'm yes, I'm such a stereotype in certain ways, 100%. Like,
yes,
I grew up loving the sound of music and I know the choreography to like single ladies, 100%. but I don't know, my personality, what we described to at the beginning, that I can dance on tables but talk about politics. Find your thing, be different, be loud, be whatever you want to be to separate yourself from the group. I've not felt resistance when I've tried just to be myself. You don't have to have the same haircut as everyone else, and
yes,
it's just be different.
And also, if you do like similar things, that's also fine. Like straight people bond over the fact of they all like the Miami Dolphins or Buffalo Bills, whatever. Like pick your team, like love your team, whatever. Like you're allowed to have similar interests. Like we both like Housewives. Mm-hmm. Like that's a common thing that you want to find people who match your same interests. Do you want to all be copy paste? Obviously not. But I think the cool thing is like if you do see everybody say, oh, all gay people dress the same because they wear gym shorts or jean shorts or tank tops or crop tops or whatever, like things are styles as well.
Yes.
So like just because we're gay doesn't mean we're all dressing the same because we want to dress the same. That might just be the style,
right?
Whether that's currently or in Fire Island, yes, a lot of gay people are going to be in Speedos,
right? Because
it's summer and it's a bathing suit and that's what they want to wear.
I just started wearing it. I love it.
Yeah, and like, why not? Right. So I think like don't view it as a communist approach. I think being gay could be whatever you choose to want, like whatever you want it to be. But I think use it to your own advantage of this is what gay people do or is, and how do I make myself unique based on what it is? Because this is what it is at face value,
100%.
Like most gay destinations are not randomly popping up.
Yep.
I don't think there's a new swimwear that's going to come out that changes the design of a Speedo. We're not going to all just start wearing thongs all of a sudden, I don't think
so.
So I think like this is what it is, and if you don't like it, you could either make it hotter or just make it a variation that you're comfortable with.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Find your take on it always.
Yes. Like people in New York all wear black. I wear a black tank top. He wore a black T-shirt. It's the uniform.
It's the uniform. It's the culture.
We're all just communists.
The communist thing is so getting me. Like I'm just thinking like Soviet Russia right now, and I'm like, have you been to Fire Island? It's not bleak there.
It's very colorful. Everyone's happy. Colorful. People are just looking for food and dick. That's about it. There's nowhere to eat. And there's a lot of options for men. It's about the gist.
Find your people. Find your group. And I know it's easier said than done, but once you do, I'm telling you, your gay world opens up. And I've been blessed to find a group of gay men that are brilliant and absolutely as crazy as I am in their own way. And it just is the best time always.
And you can sit at a table with the best of them.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I hate that we have to end this, but like to be continued one day.
Anytime. This was so much fun.
I was like, I hope people love this one.
And we talked about politics. We shared news.
Imagine like the comments are like, never have this bitch on again. And then I'll be like, I can't have you back. But maybe they'll be like, oh man, we were obsessed with him, have him come back.
I hope so. I mean, next time we'll do it over martinis, and then
we'll be shirtless.
We'll be shirtless. And
Yeah.
but talk about the war in the Middle East, though, of course.
or Russia.
Or Russia, yeah. Ukraine.
Either or. Yeah. So, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me at Lukas Thimm. That's LUKASTHIMM.
Yeah.
Lukas with a K, Tim with a silent H. I love attention.
And double M.
A double M. Yeah, Instagram.
She has a lot of things that make her unique. Remember.
That's true. That's true. Get ready. I'll take you on a ride. I always take you on a roller coaster, but I promise to get you home.
Yes.
But yes, follow me there.
All right, well, till our next one.
Absolutely.
But thank you for coming on, and you guys get tuned next week for another episode of Uncut with Jeff.